Good evening and welcome to the Metal Collector. Tonight I'll show you some of the stuff I've recently added to my collection. There will be some classic stuff and some new stuff, so stay tuned and I'll show you. Now, I've promised myself that this will be a short little video, so I'll keep it short at each item that I'll show you. But I will start out with this piece. It's Iniquity. Yeah, I think you can see it there. Yeah, it's the Danish death metal band Iniquity and their classic Serenadium album. That's the debut album from these guys. This is a remastered version where you also have the Hidden Lore EP on it. I have the original first press of this album, and it's a great album. It's one of the best Danish death metal albums of all time. And the reason why I bought this was to have it in my collection, of course, but also because of the Hidden Lore EP, because I don't have that yet. I'm still on the lookout for that one. But the CD version contains the Hidden Lore of this remastered. It's released from Target, the Target company, and also in the same vein, the vinyl edition of the album. And this is, it's only it's only the Serenadium album, as so the Hidden Lore isn't on this, but I've been waiting for this to be made for I don't know how many years, and I'm not the only one, because this album is really something, and most Danish metal fans really love this album. It's great. I don't know if you know Iniquity out there, but if not, you should definitely check them out, and you should definitely check this album out. The funny thing about the band is that they, on this album, has a lineup that was completely changed for the next release. That was the EP, The Hidden Lore. The drummer, Jesper Frost, was in the cover of this album, but he didn't play the drums for the album. But he was the only member, the only name from this album, even though he didn't play it, that would continue in the band till they stopped. I recently saw the band live at what they said was the last show with the Hidden Lore lineup, almost the Hidden Lore lineup, at Viborg Metal Festival here in Denmark, a 2-day indoor festival. And speaking of that festival, brings us to the next thing I want to show you. If I just can find it here. Yeah, one of the items here. Yeah, let's start with this, because there was another band playing at that festival, a Danish black metal band. Like some of you might know, I'm a huge collector of Danish metal, and I really love digging down to especially black metal from Denmark, because that scene, it's getting better, or should I say, right now we have pretty many black metal bands of all sorts, kinds of mixed genres. You have some black metal meeting shoegaze, and you have some atmospheric, and you have some funeral black, and you have all kinds of stuff, aggressive, very brutal black. But for many years, the black metal scene here in Denmark wasn't that big. Back in the 90s, we had, Denial of God, I would say, if you know them, it's the grandfathers of Danish black metal. They have been around since the early 90s, and they've released so many releases. Only 2 full lengths though, but great full lengths. But they have released singles and splits and all sorts of stuff. And the black metal in Denmark, for many years, it was just pure underground. But now, recently, it has started to grow within the last 5 years or something. New young bands come out, and this is one of those bands. Afsky. It's an EP and the new album, full-length album they released. Ausky is, I think it's a side project for one of the guys from the Danish, another Danish black metal band called Solbrud, which is very popular at the moment. They have released, I think it's 3 full lengths, some demos as well. I have the two first full lengths of that band, and that is it's a pretty good band. And these are the vocalists from Solbrud. This is his one-man band, Afsky. And they played at Viborg Metal, Viborg Metal Festival as well. I don't think the time where they played it was a strange time. They were the second last band, and I think they should have ended the festival because this sort of black, it was, I don't know. I personally think it fell a little bit to the ground, and they didn't catch me. They didn't reach me live the way they could have if it perhaps had only been a black metal evening with only black metal bands, or they have ended the whole evening because it was a little bit it was a strange. I think it was a strange time they played. So, but anyway, uh, it's not the band's fault, and like I said, I'm a huge collector, so I ran out on the merchandise stand afterwards and bought these two. And I've only heard them a few times, so I'm not totally into these two releases yet, but I'll give them a lot of spins for the next couple of months, and hopefully they will grow on me. But I can tell you, it's atmospheric, dark, black metal, a little bit like Soulwood, but still I would call this a little bit more aggressive in some terms. So I think these will grow on me. I think this was the full length was really something. But again, I'll give them some more spins. Now, the next band is also a Danish black metal band, but this is a little bit, uh, yeah, it's quite a cover artwork here. Another Danish black metal band, but it's not only black metal. It's combined heavy metal meets black metal meets some other stuff. Schizophrenic black, you could call it that. Called Slate. And Slate has been around for some years now. I think the first release they did was from 2011 or something. But I've never, you know, I've never really stumbled upon them until recently. We have, like I said, the black metal scene. The whole Danish metal scene has exploded for the last 15 years. So there are so many Danish metal bands out here. So Slate was one of them. I recently just fell upon, and I enjoyed the concert they played at Viborg Metal Festival. So I bought this, the CD of the full length, the latest full length album, and also this vinyl, this EP. Yeah, yeah. So I guess that's the logo or something. I haven't like with Ausky, I haven't sat down and really gotten into these releases yet, but I will do uh, the next couple of months because I have so many albums and demos and other stuff that I also yeah listens to, and it's hard to find time to really get into stuff right now, but I will with these releases as well. I will give them a lot of spins, and then I think what they are doing with their music, this black metal hybrid, black metal meets heavy metal and other stuff. I think it's interesting, and I think it will be something that grows on me as well as with Ausky. Now we have that. Yeah, we'll save that for later. This is Corpus Model, also a Danish death metal band, and their Fleshcraft. I was about to call it Crawl. Fleshcraft album, the third album from the band. This is really a great album. I had the promo version. I did a review of it for a page once, and I heard it many times, and I really enjoyed the promo. Now I just needed you know, the official album. So, and there was a guy on the internet. He had this for sale, so I bought it. It was cheap. Um, this is, if you're into brutal death metal, check this out, Corpus Model. And actually, some of the members on this album is the same people as did the Iniquity reunion concert and tour. It was the last. Actually, Iniquity did the Hidden Lore lineup. Did this reunion tour. Started a couple of years back, and at Viborg Metal Festival they played the last show of that tour. So and they said that that would be the last time we would see Iniquity with that lineup live. So, but some of the guys are also playing on Fleshcraft. Corpus Model, check them out. This, like I said, the third album, maybe the best album they have released. Yeah, I would say this would probably be the best album. Now, moving on, another surprisingly Danish band, Savage Machine. This is, yeah, you can see that. This is a power metal meets a little bit of heavy metal. A power metal band from Denmark that started out many years ago as a band called Predator's Rose. It was a little bit more hard rock kind of band. They had a female vocalist. And then they changed some members and changed the name for Momentum and released a couple of EPs, and then they changed the name for Savage Machine, and they released also a couple of demos, or was it just one under the name Savage Machine? At least one demo EP, call it what you want. And now this is the first full-length album from them. I recently wrote a review of this album and I gave it 4 out of 5. I think it's a good album. It's a little bit, they have some, the influences are from bands like Iron Maiden and Judas Priest, and you can easily hear that, but also a band like Savatage from the Jon and Chris Oliver period, also influences from that, and some true metal inspirations from the late 90s, early 2000s. Definitely an album to check out if you're into power metal. And the lead vocalist Troels, his vocals reminds me a little bit of Jon Oliver's vocals, and I like this album. It's good, and it's nice to hear a full length with them after all these years. Here comes the next one. Yeah, last year I stumbled upon a band from South America. I'm a huge thrash metal fanatic. I love thrash metal. And this band was a pure female band, and that was something. Only, they played very aggressive thrash metal with some, I would say, some small elements of a little bit death metal, but not too much. But, in South America, when they play thrash metal, they really kick the shit out of you. Nervosa, like I said, all female thrash act. They recently played in Denmark, and I was looking forward to that show because I have seen some shows with them on YouTube, and they really kick the shit out of everyone. They really play really good live. And the two full-length albums, they had it in the merch stand, and I bought these. And I've heard them a couple of times, each of them, but I've also checked them out on the internet before that, so I know the albums pretty good. And if you're into aggressive thrash metal, I can recommend Nervosa. If you don't know the band, check them out. Yeah, both of the albums are pretty good. Now the last album is now we changed to complete. Now we're going to change completely over to another direction. This is Shakedown Susies from Sweden. A very nice vinyl. It's glam metal at its best, hair metal. Call it what you want. It's 80s rock and roll, Hollywood style. These guys, I arranged a concert here in my hometown with these guys recently, and they got over here, and this is the debut album from them called The Chase, and it's pure-hearted glam metal, like I said. So if you're into that kind of stuff, check these guys out. And they played a really good concert, a lot of energy. And unfortunately, there wasn't that many people attending to this concert. It was a little place I had booked, and I booked this band and another band, a little bit more blues-based rock band. But these guys, no matter what, even though we weren't that many audience, they just played like it was the last show. So a lot of sweat, a lot of beers, and Swedish accents, and yeah. So I would say check these guys out if you're into this sort of stuff. I can recommend this album. It's good. So I think that was what I had, what I just added recently. I have some other stuff out here as well that I would like to show you, but that will be in the next video. Also, there will be a lot of other videos. To all the new subscribers of this channel, thank you very much. It's fun to be going again with the Metal Collector, and I think it's fun to do these videos and digging down to my collection again, finding old stuff. There'll be a lot of fun stuff coming up on this channel. So, but again, the video, I think it became a little bit longer than I expected, so sorry for that. Hope you have tagged along up till now. Until next time, metal on. Thank you again. Subscribe, share, do whatever you want, comment, likes, downs, whatever. Have a nice evening. Metal!